So my name is Hannah, or Han, whatever you want to call me. I used to kind of hate Hannah, but I've kind of grown to love it. I study sport and recreation at Auckland University of Technology. I do a double major of sport and exercise science and nutrition. And as people can probably tell by my accent, I am originally South African and I moved to New Zealand 2.5 years ago.
Cool, nice. So you pretty much just came for university, right?
Yeah. My parents decided that they kind of wanted to move from South Africa for like obvious reasons. And we came on holiday in 2017 and we loved it and we have family here. So we decided we wanted to make the move just, I guess, for me to be able to study here and just for like a better future type of thing.
Okay, cool. So did you move over like with your family as well?
Yeah. So my family's here with me, which is nice.
Cool, awesome. And yeah, I guess how did you decide on like what you wanted to study and why did you choose AUT?
Oh wow, this is a long story. So I'll just try to keep it pretty short. But I mean, I played sport my whole life and I was involved in pretty much like every sport you can think of. I always knew I wanted to do something within that scope. And in South Africa, I didn't get into a lot of the courses due to various reasons at the university. So I actually did a year of nursing and I absolutely hated it. And then I took a gap year and moved here. And within my gap year, I took a few like short courses to try and determine what path I wanted to take when we moved to New Zealand, because by that point we had decided. So then I started looking up the universities in New Zealand and I saw that AUT had this degree called sport and recreation. And I'd never heard of anything like that. And it looked really good. And they're like number one in New Zealand for sport and exercise science. And then I looked at University of Auckland, and that was quite science-based because I didn't really want to be away from my family. So I was only really looking in Auckland. And I also checked out Massey, but I just didn't really vibe with their program, I guess. And because AUT said that they were like number one, I was like, oh, well, might as well go study there. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, I just always knew I wanted to be in sport, and then AUT just kind of like found its way to me.
And you study at the North Campus, right?
Yeah, so we're based, you can study at the South Campus if anyone is like interested and lives in South Auckland, but I'm at the North Campus.
Okay, cool. What's like your experience of that campus? Like, would you recommend it? Do you think it's good?
So yeah, I think it gets quite a bad rap because it's quite small. Like if you know, you know. And South Campus gets a really good like reputation because it's a lot newer, I think. I really like the North Campus. Just I think because it's the only one that I know. Like I've never ever been to South Campus. I've been to the City Campus and it's not like I like space. So yeah, I really like the North Campus. I mean, honestly, it's like it's university. And then also we get to do a few classes up at AUT Millennium, and that's just really cool in like the biomechanics labs and stuff. So everyone has to come up for that. And yeah, I really like the lecturers at North Campus. They're all really helpful and they're really nice and just, yeah, I guess I'm just used to the North Campus. So I really like it. And I would recommend it if you live on the North Shore or like central Auckland.
Yeah, for sure. So I think you mentioned your majors before, but like how did you decide on those? Or did you already know like going in what you wanted to major in?
I didn't really know what I exactly wanted to major in. I just knew it wasn't going to be marketing. And then I was torn between the sport and exercise science major and the nutrition and exercise science major. So then I went to one of the like academic supervisors and they were like, oh, just do the double major. It's not that hard. You just take an extra semester. And I was like, whoa, no. I'll just do extra papers. So last year I did extra papers in my semesters and I just, yeah, I knew I wanted to do stuff within sports performance. So both of those kind of called me, and then they're very similar and you like the papers overlap. So it was easy enough for me to choose, I'll just do both. But you can really do either or do both. It's really easy enough.
And what's kind of your schedule like? Like, would you have classes most days or every day?
It depends on the year. Like first year, you pretty much have a class, at least one class every day. Second year, I had a lot of classes because I was taking the extra papers, but because we were in lockdown and stuff, it kind of eased off a bit. They were a lot less strict, so I can't speak for like a non-lockdown year. But this year actually we have less class in our third year because we do like a 400-hour placement, and so we've given like 2 days off, if that makes sense, of class. So I only have class Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and it's like one a day. But then the rest of my time I'm doing my placement. So it's not like I'm doing like just one class a day. So it's quite full on, and there's a lot of content within those classes to cover and a lot of study to do each week, plus assignments and a lot of group projects this year. So it's just kind of every week is so different, because also the lecturers have taken an approach this year of like, we'll do semi-online and semi-in-person. So one week my classes are online, and then the next week some are online and some are in person. So it just, honestly, I have to have a planner, and I make sure that everything's like planned up to a T. Otherwise I just won't get anything done.
Yeah, right. What has your like experience been with online class? Like, because we had it, was it 1 year, like a semester where everything was online, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how
So
was that for you?
last year, first semester, pretty much after 3 weeks, everything went online, and I absolutely hated it because I was taking the extra papers. I had no idea what was happening, and it was like the first time I'd ever done something like that. But this year I've actually really enjoyed it because it cuts down on like travel time and stuff, and I've learned how to be disciplined and stick to a schedule because of my like planning. And so that would be like, if you're battling with online class, that would be my recommendation. Try stick to a normal schedule. Yeah, so this year I've actually really loved it just because I have so much like work to do. It's been nice to actually just stay at home and get everything done.
Yeah, and you spoke about your placement. So I guess for people who don't really know, like, can you explain like what kind of, how does that work?
With sport and recreation, it works different to like if you're studying medicine or like physio, where they will just place you. Because everyone takes different majors, we get to kind of approach organizations ourselves. So I approached Sprints at AUT Millennium, and you kind of go for an interview, and then it's kind of like work experience, but it's not like shadowing. It's more like you get involved within the workplace and kind of get an idea for what like the job would be if you were to go into that. So people will go work with like school sports teams and do like strength and conditioning. People will go work at a gym. People who do like sport marketing will go and work with like places like Active and like Sport New Zealand, that type of thing. And then they get to like work within the marketing sector. So they don't do hands-on stuff, but it's more like research type of things. And then like I'm in a biomechanics lab. So I'm doing biomechanics types of gait analysis and 3D scanning and all that type of thing. So you get involved and you actually kind of take on a project and try to fix like an issue or problem within your organization. And you don't like fix it, but you work on this project the whole year and kind of try see how you could fix the issue. So it's just kind of giving you, I guess, experience within the workplace, and it kind of gives you a direction into where you want to go one day, because there's actually quite a lot to do in this degree. There's a lot of scope, and so it kind of can help people narrow it down to one thing.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting. It sounds like there's actually a lot of opportunities. Like I think some people think you kind of just have to be like a PE teacher or
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
you do
So I
sport,
mean,
right?
yeah, there are people that will do like PE teaching, but then there's people that go into research, people that just go into like postgrad, people that work within like sports organizations. And so it just kind of really helps you choose what exactly you want to do and kind of opens your eyes, I guess, which is cool.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have any plans on like what you want to do after you finish your degree?
So I have pretty much decided I'm going into a postgrad.
Yeah.
I'll be going into a master's. What in, I'm not exactly sure, but I can kind of see myself doing something sort of similar to what I'm doing now in my placement. But in the long run, I would really like to have my own like exercise and rehab clinic. So just working with injured like athletes and like performance, and also just community members, and stuff like that. So that's like the long-term goal. So, but from next year, because I'll finish end of this year, next year we'll be going into postgrad. Yeah,
Okay.
I just don't know what my thesis will be on yet. So probably only figure that out
Cool.
later on.
Nice. I guess if someone's watching this, maybe they're thinking of doing like sport and rec for next year. Do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, I would say if you're definitely thinking about it, you could honestly get in contact with me and we could meet up. I would be so open to that. Or if you like don't want to meet with me because it may seem a bit weird, definitely go into AUT and just kind of ask to speak to a student advisor, and they'll probably hook you up with one of the sport and rec students. And then also another thing would just be like, do your own research between, like, especially if you're in Auckland, between Auckland University and AUT, see if you want to do something more science-based or performance-based. It just depends kind of what you want to get out of the degree. Try and just reach out to AUT, even on like Instagram or something. They'll always reply, and they'll help you out. Yeah, I guess you just got to figure out not exactly what you want to do, but kind of like a direction you want to go in, and then see which university is going to be the best for you.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's definitely good to speak to people doing the actual degree. Like
Yeah,
I kind of came into uni like not knowing really anything about what I was gonna do. So
yeah, I mean, honestly, this degree hasn't been exactly what I expected it to be, but this placement, like the third year, has been kind of what I expected it to always be. Like the first and second year, you kind of just plodding along. So that would be my advice. Like, just take the time to soak it in. But yeah, if anyone really wants to get in contact with me, they are more than welcome.
sweet. Yeah, I guess now going kind of into your YouTube channel, what made you want to start like doing YouTube and making videos?
I've never been afraid of the camera, and like I'm quite an outgoing, out there person. So I've always been pretty confident. And I don't even know from what age, but from like probably when I was a young teenager, I was thinking like, oh, I really want to do like YouTube. That would be such a cool thing. And then in August 2018, my uncle from England came to South Africa for like my cousin's wedding. This was just before I moved, and I was like, yeah, I want to start a YouTube channel. And he had kind of just started one for his like business or whatever. And he was like, you should definitely do it. Like, this is the time to start it. Like, do it on your move or whatever. But I was like, I don't really want to do it on my move. I just kind of want to do it on my life. And then I came to New Zealand and I was still like kind of thinking about it. And then at the end of 2019, my one friend, he kind of pushed me to do it. He was like, do it, you should do it. I was like, okay. So I started it thinking it would be like this health and like wellness channel, but I kind of have in this last year kind of turned it into a lifestyle, just kind of about me and like my uni journey. And I've kind of taken inspiration from like other YouTubers and people on Instagram. And yeah, so I just feel like I've always wanted to do it. It was just kind of taking the plunge and doing it.
Who are some of your favorite YouTubers that kind of you like to watch?
Oh yeah. So I've always loved Sarah's Day. She kind of inspired the health and wellness holistic vibe that I was sort of going for. But then I didn't really want to copy her, so I was trying to like make it my own. And then another girl that I've kind of really started to like this year, her name's Mackenzie Morgan. She's in America. She actually studies like fashion, but she started doing these like uni vlogs, and that's how she grew her channel. And I was like, oh, not copying her, but I really want to share my journey and kind of inspire people to do sport and rec if they are keen, and kind of show people what it's like. Because I think a lot of people think like this weird degree where we play sport, like what are we actually doing? Because they always see us playing sport and stuff, but they don't really see the behind the scenes. Yeah, I follow a whole range, but I would say they'd probably be my top two favorites people.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've noticed that your vlogs are quite long, like around an hour. So I'm sure it's very like time consuming to edit and stuff. So I was wondering, like, I guess what made you want to make like really long videos rather than, kind of short
Yeah,
vlogs?
so yeah, I definitely want to make more short videos. So make sure to stick around for those. I didn't really think that they would be that long, but they just are. Like, I can't cut it down. Although this recent one I did get it under an hour. So I just thought, it'd be something nice for people to kind of just watch and listen to while they're doing like other things. Like, so this girl Mackenzie I spoke of earlier, hers are also like an hour 10 minutes. And she said, people started watching them. She was lucky if she got like 50 views. Now she gets like a few thousand views. It just takes time. And I like to watch her videos while I'm doing like other tasks, like just cleaning a room or like cleaning up the kitchen, or I don't know, doing the ironing or laundry. It is very time consuming, but I feel like I just need to push through and it'll be worth it in the end. But definitely gonna try make a short video each week, and like the long one a week. So yeah, 2 videos is quite a lot, but I just know I need to push through to make it successful.
Yeah, for sure. I think being consistent is really important as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, it's cool. Like I definitely do that as well. Like I'll have YouTube videos playing in the background, so I'm not always paying attention to it, but it's nice to have like a long video as well.
Yeah, like a white noise.
Yeah. I was wondering, like, since I guess you've been in New Zealand for a couple years now, have you been able to travel to any cool places? Like, what's the favorite place you've been able to visit?
See, I haven't traveled as much as I would have liked to. Obviously, last year didn't exactly help, but I would say like the top 2 places that I have been that are really cool is Queenstown, obviously, because it's Queenstown. It was the first time I went skiing, so that's probably why. And then another place would be like Bay of Islands, just because it really showed me how beautiful New Zealand is and like how blessed we are to live here.
Nice. Yeah, I saw on your vlogs, I think, was it you talked about your flatmates? So have you moved out, or do you still live with your family?
Oh, no. I live at home.
Oh, okay. Maybe
no,
they're just your friends.
Yeah, probably just like I have a weekly gathering with my friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about moving out, but
oh no, I haven't moved out, but I have moved out before in South Africa, but it'll probably be a bit of a different context.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the rent is so expensive these days. Like it really is pretty tough.
It really is, especially in Auckland. Like I wouldn't be able to afford it because I only work part-time. Yeah. And I think people that work full-time can sometimes also like barely afford it, like even though they're working full-time. Like Auckland is ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely. I think you also mentioned your love of pods, like the snack.
Oh,
so I don't know if you heard, but they're not gonna make them anymore.
I know, it's very sad. I have no idea why they're discontinuing them. It's not okay. I want to like write a letter and be like, why? I went to the supermarket and bought like 4 packets. I'm just like kind of savoring them. I had 1 packet, but yeah, it was like the slowest I ever ate a packet of pods, because they're so like addictive. You just like eat and
Any other favorite like foods or snacks you've discovered like in New Zealand?
I mean, they've discontinued them as well, but pineapple lumps.
Oh, do they not make pineapple lumps?
They don't make the like original brand anymore, but like they come in a pink packet now, but they're called pineapple chunks. They were very different. I'd never had anything like that. One thing that I discovered here was boba tea, like bubble tea.
Oh yeah.
Like we don't have that in South Africa, and I was addicted to it for a while. It's a very expensive addiction. But yeah, so if you haven't tried bubble tea, just go ahead and give it a try. Like even to this day, I'm still trying like a new flavor each time. Trying to pick out my favorites. So those were probably the 2 that I'd never had before that I really love.
Awesome. Nice. That's pretty much all my questions. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for letting me do this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. I will leave all your links, like your YouTube and Instagram, so people can go follow you, check out your channel.
Yeah, of course.
Because I definitely think you deserve more subscribers because you have great videos. But yeah, thanks so much, and all the best for your studies and your YouTube. And
thanks, you too. Nice to meet you.
Cool. Sweet. Thanks. Have a good night. See ya.
You too.